Imagine your phone ringing in the middle of the night. You pick it up, only to see your own number calling. What would you do? This is exactly what happened to Tyler, and what he heard on the other end wasn't human. Welcome to Dark Whispers. It was a cold winter night, and the wind howled outside like a hungry wolf. Tyler snuggled deeper into his warm blankets, trying to ignore the incessant scratching at his window. He must have dozed off because the next thing he knew, his phone was ringing, jolting him awake. The caller ID read unknown. Should he pick up? On one hand, he didn't want to be rude and ignore an unknown call, but on the other hand, it was almost 3 a.m., and the last thing he wanted was to get sucked into some sort of weird conversation. After what felt like an eternity, Tyler decided to answer the call. "Hello," he answered cautiously. A long pause followed. Then a raspy voice broke the silence. "Tyler," it said, and he recoiled in surprise. How did they know his name? Did they hack into his phone? Before Tyler could respond, the voice continued. "I need your help." Its tone was desperate, as if the person on the other end was in dire need of assistance. Curiosity piqued. Tyler cautiously replied, "Who is this? How did you get my number?" A heavy sigh echoed through the receiver, followed by a soft sob. "Please, I need your help," the voice pleaded again. "I don't have much time." This only fueled Tyler's curiosity. Who was this mysterious caller, and why were they contacting him in the middle of the night? Was it a prank call or something more sinister? Unable to resist the allure of the unknown, Tyler decided to play along. "Okay," he said slowly. "How can I help you?" The line was silent for a moment, broken only by the sound of the caller's ragged breathing. Then a whispered, "You have to find the amulet before they do. It's in your father's journal. You understand?" Tyler frowned. Amulet? Father's journal? What was this person talking about? Had he missed some crucial detail about his father's life? Or was this some bizarre coincidence? I don't understand," Tyler stammered, hoping the caller would provide more context. But instead, the line went dead, leaving Tyler staring at his phone in disbelief. Was this some elaborate prank? He pondered. Maybe one of his friends had hacked into his phone and was playing a cruel joke. But the voice had sounded so desperate, so real. And why would they mention his father's journal? Confusion and skepticism battled within him. Just when he was about to dismiss it as a crazy prank, his phone lit up again, displaying the same unknown number. Hesitantly, he picked up the call. "Hello," he answered, his voice echoing his bewilderment. "Tyler, I know you have the journal," the voice said urgently. "You need to listen. The amulet is not just an object. It holds immense power that can shape destinies." Tyler blinked, taken aback by the cryptic message. "What are you talking about?" he asked, his confusion evident. "Don't you remember our pact? We made a deal," the voice pressed as if impatient. "I thought we had more time, but it seems I was wrong." Tyler shook his head, his confusion deepening. Pact? Deal? What was this person talking about? It all sounded like a fever dream. "I don't know what you're saying," Tyler admitted, his voice laced with frustration. "Look, if this is some kind of prank," he started, but the person on the other end hung up, leaving Tyler even more perplexed than before. As the minutes ticked by, Tyler found himself torn between amusement and annoyance. Had he really just been pranked by his friends? But then his phone rang again, displaying the same unknown number. With a mix of irritation and morbid curiosity, he answered the call. "What do you want?" he snapped. On the other side of the line, a raspy voice chuckled, enjoying Tyler's rising frustration. "Patience, young one," the voice said, its tone laced with amusement. "You'll understand soon enough. The clock is ticking, though. Time is not on our side." And with that ominous warning, the caller hung up, leaving Tyler more disturbed than before. The casual tone, the cryptic messages, it was all starting to feel less like a prank and more like a terrifying game of cat and mouse. Tyler tossed his phone onto his bed, his heart pounding in his chest. This was insane. Who was this person? Why were they tormenting him? Just as he was about to convince himself it was all a big misunderstanding, his phone rang once again. He looked at the screen. His friends' names weren't there. This time he didn't hesitate. He picked up the call, his voice shaking slightly. "Who is this? What do you want from me?" Silence met his outburst. Then a whisper, so soft it was almost inaudible. "Run, Tyler. They're coming for you." Before Tyler could respond, the line went dead. Adrenaline surged through his veins, his heart pounding against his ribs like a trapped bird. His mind raced, trying to make sense of the cryptic message. Were they coming for him? What did it mean? Fear coiled in his stomach, tightening its grip with every passing second. His gaze fell on his phone, the screen illuminating his pale face with an eerie glow. The unknown caller had struck fear in his heart, but something else flickered within him too, a spark of determination. He wouldn't let this person, whoever they were, win. Tyler jumped out of bed, his eyes scanning his room for any sign of a break-in. Everything seemed normal. The windows were intact, the doors firmly shut, but a nagging feeling of unease lingered. He needed to find answers, to uncover the truth behind these haunting calls. His thoughts drifted to his father's journal, a thick, leather-bound book he'd often seen lying around the house. Could the caller be referring to his father's writings? The idea seemed far-fetched, yet intriguing. Tyler made his way to the bookshelf, his fingers tracing the worn spines of his father's collection. As his fingers brushed against the leather cover of the journal, a jolt shot through him, as if the book itself were reacting to his touch. With trembling hands, he opened the journal, its musty scent enveloping him like a shroud. As his eyes scanned the aged pages, a peculiar symbol caught his attention, a design both intricate and strange. It resembled an ancient amulet, its delicate details intricately woven into the paper. Tyler's heart skipped a beat. Could this be the amulet from his cryptic phone calls? Before he could dwell on the possibility, a loud crash from downstairs shattered the silence. Adrenaline surged through him, his pulse quickening as he realized he wasn't alone in the house. Someone or something was there. Fear threatened to consume him, but Tyler knew he couldn't freeze. He had to act. Grabbing his phone, he dialed 911, his voice shaking as he reported a possible break-in. Then he remembered the journal. Quickly, he hid it under his bed, hoping the intruder wouldn't find it. As the minutes ticked by, the sound of sirens grew louder, offering a beacon of hope in the darkness. Suddenly, the front door burst open, flooding the room with light. A group of police officers rushed in, their presence a reassuring force in the unsettling quiet. Tyler's heart pounded in his chest as they searched every corner of the room, their faces grim and alert. But as they turned up nothing, their expressions shifted to confusion. Had he imagined the whole thing? But as the officers were about to leave, one of them noticed the journal under Tyler's bed. His eyes widened as he pulled it out, its worn leather cover catching the light. "What's this?" he asked, turning to Tyler, who swallowed hard, unable to speak. The officer opened the journal, his gaze sweeping over the aged pages until he came across the drawing of the amulet. A serious expression settled on his face. "Tyler," he said quietly, "we need to ask you some questions." As the officers led him away, Tyler cast one last glance at his room. The phone lay on the bed, its screen dark, and the journal was missing from the officer's hands. What secrets did his father's journal hold? And what was the significance of the amulet? Questions that echoed in his mind as he stepped into the waiting police car. The night was far from over, and as the truth began to unravel, Tyler knew he was in for more than he could ever imagine. Thanks for watching. If you liked this scary video, then check out this video. And if you still haven't subscribed to Dark Whispers, then what are you waiting for?